Hi Sagittarius, let's have a look at your astrology for the new moon coming up on the 22nd of this month. So we have a new moon in Aquarius on the 21st of January for New Zealand and Australia and the 22nd for the rest of the world. And this new moon is it's quite a powerful new moon. We have it conjuncting Pluto. So I look at the new moons because they are like an imprint of the energies for the month. So, this reading that I'm doing is going to cover from this new moon to the next new moon. So from the 21st of January to the 20th of February. So this new moon is conjunct Pluto. So I've got the new moon at 3 degrees Aquarius and Pluto sitting at about 29, it's nearly 0 degrees actually, into Aquarius, but it is going to stay in Capricorn yet for another 2 years, as it's just it's going to sit on the cusp for 2 months and then go backwards again. So Pluto, you still have Pluto in your second house, Saggy, for the next couple of years, but you are at the end of it because Pluto in your second house has been all about transforming your financial situation, transforming, what you have, and it's, you would have noticed from the beginning of it, quite a few years ago to the end of it, how things have really changed around your financial sector. Now, Pluto, because it's a slow-moving planet sitting there for a long time, and you're at the end of it, but, the Sun Moon is coming up to conjunct it. So every time the Pluto energy is activated, it makes it very relevant, especially to your health, to your sector, sorry, not house position. So with the Sun Moon there, in the third, this is all relative to how you communicate. It's also connects to your siblings, sometimes even neighbours with the third sector. And it's conjuncting your second sector where Pluto sits. Your second sector is all about your financials, your assets, and I feel like for this period of time, you're going to be coming up with ideas on how you can actually transform and make changes to your own security, but where you can do it where you feel you have more control, because a lot of this has been maybe feeling out of your control for Sag, and as it's moving out of the second, it's moving back more into your control. Now that could be a good thing, because it could mean that things have gone extremely from not much to a lot, or in some cases it could have been the opposite with Pluto, because it's going to transform your circumstances and change them. And if they're really good to start with, they would have been going through a transformation, helping you to reassess your value system. With Pluto there to the Sun Moon, this is a time when any issues that have been around, feeling you haven't had that control, could be coming up to be addressed. The Sun-Pluto combination, conjunction, Sun-Pluto is all about your personal power, your personal control, and it can be about you receiving more leadership opportunities, or stepping into your power, or it can be feeling controlled by your circumstances. The Moon-Pluto combination is more about your emotional reactions, and it can be the feeling of sort of impulsive or a compelling feeling towards a certain objective. And so there's extreme expression of feeling with the Moon Pluto. It can come out as a fanatical desire to achieve an objective, or just a passionate interest that we're having to, that's consuming us. Otherwise, it can be it can relate to emotional upsets and its extreme emotional outbursts. So it can have, it's got both sides, both sides of the coin. But with the Moon Pluto, it's a very deep and psychic understanding, and when we connect to it, we actually we can really find the answers. So in other words, if you have any pressure on you, especially relative to connections that you're feeling just pushing you one way or another, it's important that you just spend the time and do a bit of inner work, in the sense of just go inwards, and you'll find those answers yourself, because it's a great opportunity to do that, especially from a psychic point of view, and coming into more connecting into more understanding things, and understanding yourself at a deeper emotional level as well. So with the Sun, Moon, Pluto we got going on, it's squaring the Moon's nodes. The Moon's nodes are all about our connections and our associations, our relationships on all levels, from family to friendship to relationship to to even work colleagues. Now, the North Node, which is relative to also where you're going, why you came here, to this planet, and where you're wanting to end up. The South Node is about, where you came from, what you brought through when you came in, your past lives, and the North Node is about the direction you're wanting to go in. So your North Node is sitting in your 6th sector. So you've got the Sun, Moon, Pluto, third, the second, being activating the 6th. And, this is all about fated connections that are coming into your life for a particular purpose. Now, with the node in the 6th sector, that's for your placement of your work and your daily routine. So this means that your, deep soul connections, because the moon node is about soul connections, the sun node is about family, and the moon node is about that supremacy of feeling, about those soul connections that we make. So, could have something to do with family, could have something just to do with really good friendships. But this is coming into your workspace. So new opportunities around work can come about through others, through these connections that I described. Even siblings, with it being in the 3rd house, could have some influence, some changes going on there. But also you could be making new arrangements going on around family and, especially around finances with Pluto there in the 2nd. So, it's quite a time when it's a lot to do with adaptability and interactiveness with others, especially where you've got it going on in the 6th sector. But, with Pluto there, and with it being in your workspace, there could be, a feeling of someone there that's really, sort of on your back in a way with your work, feeling like they're not letting you breathe or not giving you space. But at the same time, you could actually be making really special fated connections for your future and for your future productivity and success. So, it's a double-edged sword. We often experience both these things at the same time. The other good thing that's going on with this new moon is we have a Mercury square Jupiter. Now, Mercury is sitting in your 2nd sector. Mercury is currently in Capricorn, and it's been going retrograde. It is going to be going direct in 2 days' time, and this week it's sort of pretty much not moving, and that's what it does when it changes direction. It sits there for like a whole week. So in a way, that's quite a positive thing because it's squaring Jupiter, and it means we get a longer Jupiter square Mercury. And that's all about really fortunate decisions, communications with others, where we can start to move forward. It's about successful transactions, negotiations, litigations. If there's any signing of documents, this is going to be really productive. But it's a time when we can make really agreeable agreements, I suppose, with others. So yes, everyone is going to be agreeable relative to family, friends, and these changes during that time, and it's going to be for their productivity as well. So, like I said, it can be that you're signing a contract for your work situation because, through a colleague you have found a new position of work. It could be that you're had legal stuff going on and now you can finally sort that out and be paid out or receive whatever it is that's going to be beneficial for you. It could be that you're signing up for a property because again this is all around very fortunate paperwork as well as communications. So Uranus, it is a restless time in the working environment or even in the home environment if you don't go to work because it is your daily routine for Sagittarius, because Uranus has been there for quite a while in your 6th sector, your sector of your home and daily routine. And Uranus is at the moment, it's a very slow moving planet, but it goes stationary. And, it goes retrograde quite a lot. These outer planets, they're sort of doing that a good percentage of the time, more so than the inner planets. But when it's actually sitting stationary direct, that's when it's our powerhouse. That's when its energy is really potent. And even though it's not aspecting anything in this particular astrology wheel, it's apart from Uranus, which has been there for a while, and it's over 5 degrees now, but Uranus is sort of like the energy, the theme, but there's no other planets sort of to match with it apart from our connections. So it's sort of saying sudden changes, sudden information, sudden news, sudden things coming in that are going to mean changes. And for you, it's been sitting in your 6th sector again, your house, your place of work. So yes, it is a restless time for work, and it's like your work can come in suddenly. Sagittarius sort of like that sort of work where they might be under contract, they might be, they're not too obsessed with needing, unless you've got lots of Capricorn, then you need to know what's happening next for them. Or if they've got lots of Scorpio, they could feel that too, needing to see their future. But Sagittarius, even though they do like to see the future, of course, they do like to have that freedom in their day, and they like to sort of go, oh well, they can cruise, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like having Uranus there is sort of quite an exciting time for your career, because you sort of like that nature of that, of doing something different each day, or having a lot more variety, or lots of changes going on around your work. You're not really a day-to-day routine type anyway. So with Uranus there, like I said, I think that's I don't think you'll be finding that too hard personally, and I think you're going to start to see the benefits, especially around 2nd of February when the Sun goes square to Uranus, and you are going to sort of find yourself in different circumstances. You'll find that things have actually suddenly changed to your favour around this time, because you've got it sitting in your 4th and 7th, and these are very strong placements that affect you directly. So with your 4th, this is to do with your home, and then the 7th is to do with partnerships. Your 4th and your 6th. And then you have, in the 10th of February, you have Mercury conjuncting Pluto in the 2nd. So by the 10th of February, you're going to go, where I see Pluto has been going through your 2nd house, been changing your whole understanding of what the assets mean to you, what accumulating means to you, what even your old values and your value system could have been changing over this period of time. When Mercury comes up to conjunct that, that's when these things are made really obvious. And so around the 10th of February, it's like you have these sudden big plans for your future on how you can make the changes you're wanting, or really it's sort of almost like what the outcome of this Pluto long haul and Capricorn's been about. Even though you're at the end of it, it's like you're going to start to reap the rewards now. So with Mercury conjunct Pluto, it's like sudden ideas, sudden opportunities, sudden openings up, impressing others within your communication, convincing others within your ideas, plans on a large scale, all sorts of whatever it may be, it's like you will be making an impression on others during this time. So it looks really good for Sag. So let's have a look at your cards and see what to expect for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So it's great because you have the world covering you with the temperance, which is all about creating balance in your life, but also making decisions about new opportunities that are coming your way in the near future. So it looks like there's been a lot of fated circumstances around you. Now that's starting to shift. I feel like that's been good and bad. I mean, it depends. When I say fated, karmic. It's like the wheel's turning, but it's turning in your favour now. So if things have been quite difficult for you, Sag, it's going to be a time when you can really, things can move forward for you in a much more productive light. If they've been, if things have been going really in your favour, it's just going to continue, because it's almost like there might have been some good fortune or some good things happening over the last month, actually, with this Wheel of Fortune there, because I just feel like, it's your turn to have some joy with regards to your plans and your direction and moving forward. Very good news about a sum of money here to do with Sag, but it feels like these could be to do with investments. or where money is being held by others or somewhere else. So meaning not in your bank account, and maybe not even in your area. It's almost like it's going to be coming from overseas or coming from somewhere else. But there's again good sum of money coming in. And you're going to have lots of things you can want to do with that. Now, with the World card covering you, and I know how Saggies like to travel, that could possibly be on the card, so to speak, with extra money in hand. Or there may be some big projects, like I said, with that Mercury Pluto. There's some big plans or big ideas that you've got coming up here, and that might be just something you sit on for a little bit until you're ready to make that decision. Like I said, around the 10th of February, it feels like that's a perfect time for that. So Saggies are going to be moving forward with their ideas, something you've been working on for quite a while. You're going to start to be able to really move forward with. It's when I say quite a while, it could be 3 months. For Sag, that could be quite a while. It's like anything that you've been, I would say, from 3 months onwards. We'll put it that way, because it's like you've got started with something, and now you can get finished with it. Now you can take it to that next level. You've been doing some learning, you've been doing some work in preparation for this, and you've been doing this so that you can have more freedom and more control in your life, as in this is what's going to set you up, or this is what's going to give you that freedom that you're looking for. It's saying that you can move forward with this. Okay, so this is moving forward for you reasonably soon, because you've got to remember, I'm doing a spread for a month. I am a bigger picture reader, so let's hope we're covering the month and not too far down the track. But as I'm going to be doing this monthly, but so I assume this is like next week. I assume this is sort of in the next couple of weeks. You've just got this forward movement. But like these changes, they could all come in at the beginning of February. Actually, either way, you're pretty prepared for them. Yes, there is good news around anyone going through any legal stuff, especially where there's been disputes or issues around finances or money. Or having to balance things out, as in it's where you're sort of distributing out and making things fair. So a situation around where it's about where things have been out of balance and making things fair. So that seems to be a focus here. Seems to be a lot of plans you've got around property here, Sag. There could be a new property that you're thinking about somewhere in a whole different environment. It looks like you're looking for more space if you don't have enough. Otherwise, if you want to stay where you are, because it's not necessarily saying moving, it's sort of you're looking at how you can expand your space, because again, Sagittarius needs a lot of space. They need to have a good lookout, a good view. They are the horse sign. Horses like to be high. They like to be able to see for miles. They don't like to be closed in. So Sagittarius is very much the same. So again, good news about money and the flow of money. And the other good thing here for Sag is that you're going to get a lot of assistance and help through others. As in, it's about not just what you know, who you know, the right people, the right connections are coming in to help. Not that you're needing help, but just to move things along, for you to get more experience, for you to do more and more that you can share together. So new energy of love is coming in. Now that can be a lot of things. That can be your partner. It can be a baby. Sometimes it can be a new level within an existing relationship. For anyone who's looking for the right connection, that not only will be great love, but will also they'll be able to work alongside with, do plans together, travel together, a lot of things, a lot of experiences that you're wanting to have together. That's coming in as well. And if you haven't been able to do that with your partner because of circumstances or because things have been out of balance, say he's been too busy with work and you've been busy with what you've been doing, it's sort of saying this is the time coming in where you're going to have that more of that freedom and more where you can actually work alongside each other in a creative way, because you do actually work really well together. Or you'll be bringing in someone new who you can work with. I think that's important for Sagittarius. So it looks really good. There could be decisions about, do I take another career option? Excuse me. And if you're not sure, just because it does look like you've got some doubts here and you've got some trust issues here relative to what you're being offered, And whether that's new love, there could be like, I've been there and done that, or whether it's somebody saying, come on, I can help you out here, or we can do this together. And like, oh, I've done that too, and that didn't work. But yeah, it's like you're going to break through any areas where you have been burnt or upset by others before, and just allow this flow of energy to happen with the right people. So yeah, decisions about doing that, like I said, it's an opportunity. I really can't see how you'd say no, even with fears coming up, because it's just looking absolutely productive and positive. And it means it just gives you a strong sense of control back in your environment. And it's not that you haven't had that fully, but I think just as Pluto, it went through your first house, and you would have really known about not having control in your environment back then around 2000 sort of time, up to 2000, sort of 10, 11. But with this, it's more like you haven't quite had the ability to access the finance that you've wanted, and that in this new situation you'll be able to, or you haven't had the opportunity. It's not financial, it's like you haven't had the opportunity to utilize certain skills that you've been developing. This is giving you the opportunity, because this is what it's saying you come to the end of a cycle where you're in the reap of the rewards time. So that's why I feel like new opportunities are meant to be taken, because they're going to actually put you in your perfect place for your skills and for your knowledge. So I hope you enjoyed that, Sag, and have a great day. Bye.